Sagittarius, don't mind the way I look. Well, you can if you want to, but it's probably not going to do any good because I don't care. I'm super like the evenings. I've had a very long day. So we're going to do a reading. I'm going to start with this deck. I honestly think it's oracles, something, goddess oracles or something. I can't really remember. Intuition. Wow. Just want to point out that this woman has her son on her lap. She's just chilling. Kind of reminds me of pictures of Mary Magdalene, or Mary holding Jesus. Um, this is number 35. Okay, surrender wanted to come out, but it's in the reverse. So this is Iset. This is Queen Nandi. This is Iset. Okay, so you're not going to surrender your intuition on something. Like, I don't know why, but strongly the image of school, like being college or like paying tuition to go get a certificate or a certification in something, could be like vocational school, anything like that. Yeah, here's etheric cords. You're connected to this somehow, Sagittarius, and you're not trying to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know why Olaf just came to mind. You know, the little snowman? Radical rebirth. Okay, there's something about, this is number 5. There's something about you not being willing to have a radical rebirth when it comes to what you've already experienced in the past. Although I don't think you're dwelling on it. That's not the actual energy that I feel coming through. I think you might actually be reminiscing, or there's something about experiential learning that is necessary here. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's almost like Hermes or Hermes, if you want to be real, like, pronunciative about it. He's the god of messengers. So if you think about text messages, IMs, kind of paper trails, as it were, that's what Hermes does. Hermes. He has like these shoes with wings on them, like the Red Bull commercial. That's Hermes. So there's something about fearless love coming through here with Oshun. You're not really going to feel like you're in alignment with the things that may have already come to pass. However, you're also not going to let go of those things that have already come to pass. You're going to have fearless love and just go for it. There's a Dej Loaf. I think it's her. Ooh, yeah, this really wanted to come out, and it actually fell right on top of this surrender in reverse. You actually might be needing to surrender some of this celestial alignment since it fell out directly. It was like literally on top of this one. You might need to surrender some of your inclination to hold on to being the bridge. Okay. I will not be the bridge. I think I don't want to misquote. Let me look it up. I think that is a really famous poet. Donna Kate Russian. And I don't feel like that's the poem I was looking for. Yeah, they put a whole bunch of weird names in here that don't actually pertain to anything. That's not the poem that I was looking for whatsoever. Harvest is here in the reverse. It's almost just like you're not really gonna invest in things that you don't feel like investing in. You might invest for other people around you, but that's the only reason why you would be looking into this intuition. It's paying of tuition. It's a cash out of money. Cash out, cashing out is coming through. It's his name is Cash Out, and he sings a song called Cash Out. Riding around with that Nina. Okay. There's something about you already having paid out money one way or another, and someone's gonna find you and they're gonna get you, right? Just give me a moment. I can't really figure out why this Harvest card wanted to be seen at the top of the reading. It is number 43. I think there's something having to do with like this Trinity kind of like I'm just thinking the Four of Wands and then the Three of whatever. There's a Three of Swords, there's a Three of Wands, there's a Three of Cups, and there's a Three of Pentacles. Most of those are positive except for the Three of Swords. So it's kind of like you're putting away your sword and your shield. You're not going to fight what has already happened or what you've already paid out because it's not worth it, right? But it's just not worth it. However, you are going to take this, you're going to kind of discontinue surrendering the passage, okay? I don't know if the rest of y'all went through this in school. However, for me personally, I remember finals time, and finals was always quite stressful only because you would have like 5 papers and 2 exams or 3 exams. We'll just do 4 papers and 3 exams since this is number 43, right? And you'd have to get all of it done. Look, right into the Harvest card, there's this reflection that you don't really want to look at, right? And that's the good juju. You do need good juju to get through that because outside of making little sticky notes and like lining them up on a wall and like being able to rip it off the wall just as soon as you get done, ripping a little sticky note off the wall does not compare to the amount of work that you've just done. So you need to kind of give yourself some type of credit for whatever it is that you have invested in. However, I don't think you should attach yourself to it because this radical rebirth in the reverse means that you're not actually like these 2 lions are not sitting in your lap, whatever that means. Okay. I want to say if we're looking forward and backward or, back and forth, these are not actually going to be part of the Queen Nandi experience when you move on. What it means is that you've surrendered your ability to hold both of those. So, being broke and being wealthy, 2 totally different things. Being kind of like eating sardines and crackers is not the same thing as having a feast and a smorgasbord, okay? When you put those 2 things, add them up together, right? It doesn't really make a lot of sense for you to feel like you have to be at one extreme or the other. You can take the parts that you have participated in, and that's your participation. That's the part that you played in the past. Okay? But now the past is the past. And all I'm hearing is like, in the circle of life, just Rafiki, like taking a stick and hitting someone on the head. And this is for you specifically, Sagittarius, because the stick is also very fiery. All the wands represent fire energy. So this is you hitting someone in the head and be like, it's in the past. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you don't have to care about it. It just means that the harvest that you did have may not be available for you anymore. Okay. And for you, that could look like a lot of things, but if it looks like fearless love, that's probably the best way to move forward. So I'm going to clarify this. I don't know why, but I have 2. I guess I was just reading, right? reading whatever. But this is a there's no harvest in fearless love. Have a little bit of fear of repeating the past. That's the whole like you know, just I feel like someone just probably upside your head, like whoops, upside your head. I said, whoops, what's up? Yeah, what's inside your head. So that's the point. I'm not going to use my personal deck for that, but I am going to use this ride or die deck to get some ride or wait deck in order for these messages to come out. These got kind of soaked yesterday, and now these three are stuck together. Hold on. I'm probably ripping photos or pictures out. My bad. My bad. Anyway, let's see what happens for intuition. Ooh, the tower moment came out immediately on this intuition card, and it did fall down in the it fell down in the reverse. I mean in the upright. Yeah, there's something about you, like your speech is opposite from where you need to have it. And I know that sounds like really bossy of me to say. It might be kind of bossy. I'm just telling myself is what, we all have fire probably somewhere in our chart. But yeah, it will help you to let go of feeling kind of emotionally wrapped up in maybe other people's experiences or the past participation that you may have had and whatever. There's something about needing to kind of like forgive yourself and keep your guard up, though. Keep your guard vigilant. You don't need to be like a vigilante, okay? You don't need to do all that. If you do need to do all that, just do it by yourself. When there's like school shootings, I know this is like really extreme example too, but when there's school shootings and then afterwards people hear about it and they're like, so he shot all these people or she shot all these people and then shot themselves. Like, why would they do that, right? What are the reasons why that would take place? Well, you should just start with yourself, and then other people don't have to become involved in a way that might not be etherically on point. There's a King of Pentacles coming out in reverse. That's what I mean. These etheric cords don't need, so you know how it goes one in, I'm telling you, you need to like reverse the way that you're thinking about something, the way that you're expressing something, the way that you're experiencing something, in one ear, out the other. In one ear, out the other. Either way it goes, in one side, out the other side. Okay? It's kind of like that. That's the fearlessness that needs to go with it. You don't need to have a direction right now. You need to just focus on yourself. And that's the intuition. Maybe just focus on paying down some of your bills or paying down the things that you feel you owe to yourself. Do something really nice. Look, there's that. I did. I ripped it. I ripped it. There's 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, meaning you're not really going to come together with something. You're more likely to just kind of, I don't know if you're like, that's what I mean. You don't need to get teary-eyed. You don't need to like go out being a vigilante. You don't need to really invest. This is someone working together with other people. Work on your own. Okay? Work on by yourself. Don't be defensive. Just drop your defensiveness and then figure out how to show up for your own self to be the best, highest, greatest, most good version of yourself that you possibly can. And I feel like that is what's going to kind of help you Listen, listen. We now have 3 lions in the reverse. We've got this card that has been, well, you saw me destroy it on camera. And on camera, you can replay things back. So I'm thinking like when you're at school and you've got presentations and papers and whatever kind of exam, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, don't be defensive toward the test. Be defensive toward the tester, which is you. You're going to test yourself. So when you're going through your notes, you go flipping back through the pages of your notes and you're like, oh, yeah, look. This just felt again in the reverse on the floor this time though. Yeah, you kind of need to just give up your need to always be perfect or correct or right or, um, you know, on point about every little thing. It's all right. If you were to get like a B in a class or something, or whatever, you don't need to like lose it and be like, wow, I didn't get an A. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that kind of robs you of the experience of enjoying the entire thing when you're too focused on making it perfect. Or, yeah, there's friendship at the bottom of the deck. You need to, you can't really harvest a friendship with someone that you're studying with if one of your study buddies is like super, super severe and harsh about things and like, this test is the only thing that matters in life. And if you fail this test, you fail at life. They kind of do make you feel like that when you're taking like LSATs, SATs, ACTs in high school. But it takes away from the joy of the experience. It's really, it gives you impetus, I suppose, to kind of ruin the camaraderie that you could have had. Yeah. So that fearless love is like, don't just be like, well, we don't need to study. Let's just go be buddy buddy. And buddies is all we are. You know, that doesn't need to be the case. However, when you're studying, when you're in the middle of doing the hard work that it takes to back up what you know is your knowledge, don't deter yourself from that either. Understand what it is that you know. This coming out in the upright, I just absent-mindedly, like an absent-minded professor or a nutty one, I don't know, put the strength card back into the deck in the reverse. Okay, so that's what I mean, like, there's a happy place. Not to be too happy, go more about it. However, there's a happy place that you can reside that includes lightheartedness in the process of moving towards your rest, which is what happens after you rip all of the sticky notes off the card, off the wall, off. Did I say all the sticky cards off the notes? Anyway, I'm telling you, there's a lot of bass backwardsness going on. Yeah, when you're fishing, okay? If you go on a fishing trip, you get on the boat and you're gonna go have a good time. So you've got like this cooler full of beer, and you've got this best buddy of yours somewhere in the vicinity. I don't know if you're on a yacht or a tug. I really don't know. But the point is, like, if you're super focused on, well, if I don't catch this many fish today, I'm gonna be in a foul mood. Yeah, you're gonna be in a foul mood. Because when is enough enough? It's the same with money. When have you made enough money? Never. Most people don't have a limit on the amount of money that they want to make. Speaking of tuition, depending on which, lake you're fishing in, if you're in the ocean, if you're just in a small stream, that can change what time of year it is, the temperature, all that can kind of influence the outcomes of your time on the lake, right? So just make sure that you have some good conversation, that you express a valid interest in fishing that does not become obsessive. Because once you become obsessed with whatever it is that you're working on, I do want to show you also, this is like the Mother Mary kind of imagery right here, right? But this is number 25. If you're going to kill yourself, break the bank for Christmas, for Christmas or for whatever holiday is coming around, you no longer can really enjoy the day because you're thinking about all the bills you've just amounted for yourself. Same difference. Have some restraint. Understand it's not about the consumerism, it's about the company that you keep. It's about the company that we keep, right? And it's about appreciating the children. You know, technically, the 25th, which is the date of Christmas, is supposed to be someone's birthday. It's a birthday party. So, yeah, you want to give your children a great birthday, but like, you know, they can't have a quinceañera every single year. They just can't. They cannot. That's just the way it is. Like you would be literally dreading your child's birthday because you realize how much money you have to shell out. Don't do it. My personal opinion, of course, and opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Hopefully that was helpful though. Sayonara.